Hello and welcome to the corner. I'm the Frosted Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages. I like boobs.
I am Braniel.
Well, yeah,
I was doing the
everybody's
Spartacus thing.
everybody's fine with Spartacus dying in this case. And standing in for Moonshock because he's got a family is our pal Johnny Hellcat. I mean Garrett Hedlund.
Why, hello. Tron is still a bad superhero movie.
Yeah, one of the gayest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, Terry Diamantis.
I'm Braniel and says my wife.
And this week's special guest, Braniel Devito.
I am the real Braniel. I am a potato.
He is an actual potato.
Yeah, this is the first time where someone's YouTube photo just perfectly fits the thumbnail of just looking depressed and dejected at being on the stream.
So we've got a pug and a potato. That's kind of cool. The alliteration.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you say we start with our first article? Math was never neutral.
before the stream, I was talking to Braniel and I was like, he's got articles that are tailor-made just to piss you off. And Braniel's like, no, yeah, I haven't talked that much on this stream. He doesn't know enough about me to really know how to tick me
Oh,
off.
ye of little faith.
I would
Well, I just
never choose articles just to piss off our guest.
And let the suffering begin.
And action.
Recently, professor and mathematics educator Dr. Rochelle Gutierrez became a center of controversy when right-wing sites wrote pieces about her scholarship provocation, the mathematics community. I'm not linking those. Essentially, she believes...
it's not like you want us to hear actual arguments. You just want to make up arguments that you can then debunk in, I'm sure, really legitimate ways.
Well, those arguments just don't exist, period. So why could they even link anything that doesn't exist?
Fair point.
And Kiev, I'm not pronouncing it Raquel because that would be ignoring her journey from Milan to Minsk. Right. Essentially, she believes, and rightly so, that mathematics pedagogy privileges whiteness. The swamp.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does. She just said. That's right there.
Pay attention, Jack, please.
Yeah. Braniel, smack him upside the head.
No, not yet.
The swamp converged.
He'll regret ever having known me in about 20 minutes. So I'm sure that it will come eventually.
Let's see.
That's the worst.
The swamp converged onto her email and social media. Most of the retorts pull from the alt-right playbook, calling her girl, honey, and telling her to speak English. For the purposes of my sanity, I'd like to hone in on two arguments.
You speak it the English.
Everybody knows the alt-right invented the word girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1. Mathematics is either neutral from issues of race, class, and gender, and 2.
True.
We don't need to worry.
And end the conversation there.
Yeah.
And 2, we don't need to worry about race because the word algebra is Arabic, so whiteness isn't at the center.
I mean, fair point.
That's accurate. And also the fact that it's Arabic in general is irrelevant. It's not. It is the study of the nature of
No. I think you're missing the bigger
logic
point.
in general.
No,
It is
I
totally-
think you're missing the bigger point. It is now Islamophobic to criticize maths, which is exactly what this article is doing. I think this bitch needs to get cancelled.
And also,
Now-
Terry has to get canceled for calling it maths.
It,
Now,
it's
the
an
important question is how do we make this about her?
Yes, that
it's
is
an
important.
abstraction from real life. It is so utterly abstract you cannot connect it to real life except through totally and utterly practical applications.
You know
Well,
what
watch
involved?
a preview run.
You know what involved
The
math?
author's probably just pissed off because their name was used in a word problem, classifying them as the wrong gender and that they had 20 watermelons.
Johnny has 12 slaves. If Mary took away 2 slaves, now if Mary lynched 2 of them. Side note, but not really. It's worth noting that plenty of organizations have come out with statements in support of Gutierrez in her scholarship.
Yeah, that's because it is politically popular to do so. It does not tie to objective reality, you moron.
And just so you know, the answer to that question is I'd be one less Mary down.
This is just an appeal to authority.
We also need to outright rebuke racist, sexist, classist, and xenophobic attacks on her person, as we can't separate the person and the work she does insofar as the insults and yellow journalism are concerned. Let's please address both.
No, let's not.
No, you're trying to corrupt the most universal language in this world. No, shut up.
Hi, Angela.
What, Esperanto?
Yeah, everybody speaks that. It's important for us as a country to recognize the benign ways we approach teaching stories as a whole. As youth, we're
That is not a story.
It is. There are story problems all the time. As youth, we're indoctrinated with histories and pedagogies that suggest that the teacher and this country has it all figured out. Students in this framework are simply recipients of our didactic largesse. Ooh, someone's got a thesaurus.
Yeah.
I found his website and I posted it. It says the Jose Vilson, architect for a hopeful future. My work as a math teacher isn't even math. Okay.
Because it's maths.
All right. No, maths doesn't exist.
Great, we got a regular Pol Pot on the other end.
Wow, my comment with watermelons and a math problem was a little too spot on.
Over time, our society expects to complicate the storytelling by complicating narratives and opening the fissures of conflict. As adults wean students off the security blanket that is our curriculum, we have a depreciating sense of what they ought to do with this knowledge. Should they challenge the framework we've offered to build a better world around us, or should we allow misconceptions to flourish to maintain the status quo? The answers to this question are complicated, and not as bifurcated as our current zeitgeist suggests. Man, it really does have a thesaurus. But what's
He
true?
paid for it. He's going to use every damn word inside the thing.
But what's true, even before we choose a path, is that too many of us come to these complicated truths later in our development. As we understand that the same kid who could not tell a lie about a cherry tree also became our first president and most powerful slave owner in the country, we can also understand that the maths, just goes to show this person's wrong, we divulge to our students also have explicit and implicit messages from foundation to delivery.
No, they don't.
No.
They convey factual information about the nature of reality, or about the not the nature of reality, about the nature of not even reality. It's like nothingness, sort of.
They're completely separated from reality.
Okay, so what I'm getting is 2 + 2 equals the Middle East slave trade didn't exist.
Pretty much.
What would you call the stem from which math originates?
Boring.
Fundamental.
Racist.
Voluminous.
Eh.
How can it be racist if the same equation can be written on a piece of paper and given to many different people of many different languages, and they all can understand the exact same equation?
They just said Washington owned slaves. Isn't that
Yeah.
enough? Pythagoras and the team who took on the moniker, Eratosthenes and Roman numerals came into our consciousnesses before the Mayans and the Egyptians. We don't learn of Ada Lovelace and Katherine Johnson unless we specialize in the fields of computer science and astronomy, respectively.
Yes, that is because information's a conquest. If you have the right agent, the way that you do things, the way that you created things, will win out over the way someone else did something. That's why two people can come up with a relatively similar invention at the same time, and ultimately one of them will prevail as the inventor of that thing. We don't go around saying, "Oh, well, this person kind of invented, but this person kind of invented this." We say, no, it's one inventor because it's like Highlander. There can be only one.
This whole rhetoric is very Betamax phobic, Jack.
And
Hooray for Laserdisc.
Yes.
HD DVDs forever.
Hmm.
Let's see. The life of Benjamin Banneker is often reduced to a simple scientist, as if he didn't use his post to rebuke founding father Thomas Jefferson's racist theories on the enslaved. And while it's true that the word algebra comes from a Persian scholar named Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi, how does that square with the ways we ostracize children of color from our curriculum?
The two seem somewhat unrelated, so I'm willing to see where she's going with this, or he.
Are you disrespecting Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi?
So far,
Kind of.
this argument seems to boil down to how can you talk about math when there's so much suffering in the world?
I'll tell you what, if this Muhammad guy has a problem, he can tell me himself.
Well, he kind of suicide bombed something, I'm assuming, but whatever. And
Yeah, well, he should have spoken to me before he did that. He missed his chance.
and
He suicide bombed the science wing.
hi, old guy gamer. Let's see. Okay. We know how harmful Asians are good at math can be both anecdotally and through research, but we don't.
Yeah, how dare they be good at it?
Yeah.
Well, do you have any evidence that counters that notion? See, that would be the mathematical way to discuss that problem.
Yeah, but math
by
is racist, remember?
Presenting
So-
evidence.
If they're
Have you
so
ever
good,
walked past the mathematics department inside a college, you look in and it's scary. It's like one white guy, maybe a black guy, and then the rest are Asian.
Yeah, or how about Elon Musk sending out a picture? Did you see the comparison, the pre and post Elon pictures of Twitter staff?
I
And the
did.
pre picture is just a whole bunch of women middle manager types, and the post picture all Asians.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
if
Why do you think
Asians are
it's
so
better?
if Asians are so good at math, how come they have trouble getting into Harvard?
That's true.
Because they're only good at one thing.
And also, I saw Goodwill Hunting. There were very few Asians. They all look like Robin Williams. Let's see. We marvel at black kids achieving high scores on standardized tests and distort by any means necessary to include oppressive methods by which schools arrive at their test scores.
Well,
We-
by any means necessary literally means by any means necessary, including oppressive methods. Like that's what the phrase means.
Yes. Well, I mean, we take away from their score if they're black, right?
You probably should.
I always thought it was like golf. They had a handicap.
Yeah. We love films like Stand and Deliver. Speak for yourself. But we don't But we don't recognize how the students' ancestors had a beautiful rendition of math that perfectly synchronized calendars with the rest of the solar system.
People bitch about that constantly. About the Mayan calendar. People talk about that constantly. In 2012, no one would stop talking about it for the whole fucking year.
And then we all died, and they were proven correct.
Yeah. Didn't you see the movie?
With John Cusack.
Yeah. That was based on a true story.
That actually happened.
I will
died.
always-
I
I will-
died.
I will always trust John Cusack with a limo.
Mhm.
These concepts aren't foreign, but the United States of America's rendition of math makes academic attainment and achievement foreign for so many of our students. Math was never neutral. Math as a subject area is a reflection of the values and stories propagated by given educational systems architects. If the architects truly... Huh?
I don't know about you, but I don't remember learning too much history while doing math classes.
Well, that's because you were oppressed by the school standards or something.
Really, the most social element of math that exists today is that when we hear an equation, we have a name that is attached to that equation. Pythagoras.
Oh, not
yeah,
Steve then.
and
Tyrone.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're not
That
going to
sort of
find
thing.
the Steve theory.
And the author is bitching that basically a lot of different people didn't get their names mentioned. Well, no fucking shit. Someone did, and you're gonna have to deal with that. I'm sorry.
No,
but
we,
deal
we need the Fred Quisha theorem, and we need it now.
By the way,
you,
Mr.
you don't get a leg up just because you have a different skin color. You have to go out and you can't just write an equation. You have to sell it too. If you want your name attached to it, you have to sell it.
And you won't
Sorry.
convince me that Mr. Garrison isn't the hero of that story. Let's see. If the architects truly valued marginalized people's stories, we would have seen these elements early on in all of our children's textbooks and digital tools. We wouldn't have to argue whether Algebra 2 needs to be taught as a gatekeeper for STEM fields, because everyone would have equitable access to the curriculum and students would make a fairer choice on their own. Indeed, most of the pejoratives thrown at Gutierrez prove her point. One wouldn't need to
I'm insulted, therefore I'm correct.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
It's an odd logic.
She was called Girl and Honey, therefore no one needs to go past Algebra 2.
Hey, bitch. Score. Let's see. One wouldn't need to disagree by telling her to go to another country, belittle this professor with honey, or insult her with reverse racism charges. The more these folks
Okay. I'm starting to get the impression that one person said honey, and that was the impetus of this entire article.
I mean, could you recover if someone called you honey?
It's just proving how shallow these people are if they're offended by just one simple word, probably mentioned only once to them.
The more these folks disagree by attacking her person, the more these folks send a message about their discomfort with a person of color having any say about the way math gets taught. In other words, math as a neutral subject is a lie, and the folks who perpetrate the myth lie for their comfort. Math has often centered the success of straight white men and those who believe in their schema.
Well, I'm gonna say I don't know that Greeks and Italians really count as white.
Everybody knows that talent in math comes directly from melanin. Surely we have a few solutions to this, including diversifying the teaching profession and including more than white dudes in our math. We can also raise the status of teaching as a profession because teacher pay is a feminist issue, given how many women we
Honestly.
have in this work. But on a foundational level, we would do well to recognize that the incremental changes we seek to make for students aren't just focused on gaps in standardized test scores and resources, but what our society gleans from them. Our ideas of
Can-
success.
I just want to say, teachers work 2/3 of the year, and they get infinite praise. They get an infinite source of praise. Don't you think we overvalue these people slightly already?
Especially
Never. Who, if not for teachers, who would indoctrinate the youth into communism?
Yeah. Who would,
Yes, and
I
who
mean,
will be raping our children? I mean, teaching our children.
yeah.
I mean, if you go out and do a job out of the goodness of your heart and you volunteer for it and you don't get paid for it, that is worthy of praise. Whatever praise you get, you deserve. But you signed up for it, you trained for it, you signed up for it, you got paid to do it. It's a job. You're not worthy of particular praise for doing a fucking job, because guess what? There are 1,000 awful jobs out there that are much worse than being a teacher. And they help society too, just as much, if not more, and they get zero recognition. Mostly because they're probably done by men. So teachers and nurses aren't as brilliant as people say they are. Sorry, but it's true.
No, we must sacrifice goats to them.
It would be halal.
Let's see. Our ideas of success are
Halal lit.
Our ideas of success are centered on colleges that don't create welcoming environments for students of color and careers with bosses that won't hire us.
Well, maybe if you were more employable, that might go away.
Or not being a total shitbag.
If we actually did the math, we'd see how the outcomes matters as much as the incomes, and our incomes are stratified along race and gender lines. We don't believe
You
that.
don't know anything about the statistics that go into that kind of analysis.
No,
because you're
I
a
just like this
moron.
next bit coming up is the biggest self-report that I've ever seen.
We don't believe that black and brown children are capable and brilliant in their own mathematics, and hold
Yeah,
them to.
exactly, they don't, and
Wow.
that is on you liberals and not the same people who aren't racist.
Black people are dumb.
But just,
Black.
Just to hear someone that's trying to say math is racist and everything and come right out and saying basically black and brown children are dumb,
Yeah,
that pretty much kills your entire argument.
Math isn't racist, but
Right.
you are.
no,
Yeah.
maths is racist because the niggers don't understand it. That's what this is saying.
Holy shit.
Damn.
I mean, can you prove otherwise?
Yeah.
I mean, I
there's-
suppose as long
there's-
as you're able to count how much cotton you've picked at the end of the day, does it really matter?
well, there are no math professors in the NFL. So I mean, come on.
Another good point.
We don't believe. We don't believe that black and brown children are capable and brilliant in their own mathematics, and hold them to standards unaligned with our country's standards for themselves. We don't value our children as full human beings. We also have such low expectations of adults and children we call high achievers that we've obfuscated high achieving with full humanity, as if a perfect storm of privileges didn't usher us into the maelstrom that is 2017.
Someone has never met Asian parents.
I get the feeling that this author has like 2 black students in all of his classes, and he favors them more than anyone else because he wants to be the change in their lives so that they can be better than all of his other students.
But
more importantly than that, the maelstrom that is 2017. Frost had held on to this article for 5 years, waiting for Braniel to be a guest.
he repeats the problems extra slow for the black students. You know, because he's an ally.
And the word problems are all written in Ebonics.
Uh,
My brother saw 3 crackerheads.
at what time would the 2 trains meet up in this piece? As a middle school educator, I hope the children have better solutions for the world than my generation and previous generations do not. Solidarity with you, Dr. Gutierrez.
There's the other half of your problem. You're a middle school teacher.
So I do like the idea of if you run a train starting at 8 a.m. and then your buddy starts running a train at 8:30, when will you have banged the same number of whores?
Well, they need to know, like, kilos and whatever for drugs.
True.
Yeah, we can help the black community if we're allies.
That's
that's
not
it.
freedom math, though.
You need to know the metric system to know how big a 9mm bullet is.
Yeah. All right. Well, with the end of the first article comes the first game, and that game is Sad Libs Double Prompt Edition, where I take
Joy.
where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out 2 words, and you guys have to fill in those words Mad Lib style, and then the chat will vote on which one's best. All right, so Jack, I need a past tense
Hate
transitive verb.
Shit. I hate you so much right now. You'll need to come back to me. I'm.
All right. So, Johnny, I need a transitive verb ending in ing. Oh, he just took off.
Yeah.
That's motor vehicle for come back to me later.
No.
I'll go blowing.
Terry, I need a profession plural.
Well, since we were just talking about black people, drug dealer. Or drug dealers, sorry.
For mine, how about kicked?
There you go.
There's a lot of transitive verbs in this round.
Unmute?
Huh? Well,
There's the word unmute on the screen.
where?
I think it's because Braniel's muted, so that to avoid the echo.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, probably.
All right. Let's see. Braniel, I need a living thing.
It's a living
No, Braniel.
Well, to honor the fucktard in the last article, let's go teachers.
thing. Ah.
All right. Let's see.
Does that work in the context, Frosted?
Probably not.
I mean, teacher is a living thing.
It
Yeah.
does. Makes sense.
Well, yeah, but wouldn't teacher be? Wouldn't you want the singular? Oh, okay.
Yeah, teacher.
I thought you said teachers plural.
All right.
Not
And
that drunk.
Braniel, give me a transitive verb.
Oh shit. Come back to me.
Yeah. All right. Oh, look, Jack, you have to give me another past tense transitive verb.
Farted. I knew you were pulling that shit.
You can't tell they're friends.
What?
You guys both said to come back.
It's something you do to someone else.
All right. Let's see. Johnny, I need a transitive verb.
Engorge.
A transitive? I suppose. Let's see. Terry, I need a transitive verb ending in ing.
Well, since we've got teacher as the first prompt, I'll go molesting.
Alright. So, Braniel, transitive verb.
Licked?
Well, would be lick. in
Yeah,
this
lick.
case.
Yeah, lick. Sorry.
Okay. So,
Interesting spelling.
Yeah.
Jax is an open letter to the New Yorker. Girls are kicked because grown men lick them.
Okay.
What?
Alright, and Johnny's blowing the whites who farted me. Alright, Terry's why do drug dealers feel the need to engorge black women?
There you go.
Alright, and Braniel's the wife of the teacher I was molesting showed up at my workplace in her pajamas.
I gotta give it to Braniel.
Yeah. The rest don't make 100% sense.
How the hell did that work?
Thank you, molestation, for making the answer work.
Oh, definitely.
Alright. A second, I'll start a poll for the chat so they can vote on which one is best.
For those who don't know, engorge is to fill with excess, or to fill to excess.
Yeah, looks like Braniel's in the lead so far.
I suspect he'll win it.
Not often the teacher is the one getting molested.
Well, it's
I
the
mean,
wife of the teacher. It's not even the
Yeah.
teacher.
So
I
the
suppose
teacher
it makes
still gets
sense though.
screwed again.
If you're abused, you will then pass on that abuse to other victims. So, yeah,
Is the wife getting molested or is the teacher getting molested?
why not both?
Be like Oprah. You're getting molested. You're getting molested. Everybody's getting molested.
And the audience is just so amped up they don't even care. Yay! I'm getting molested!
Years of psychological torture. Woo!
Everyone look under your chair. Everyone pulls out like a dildo.
And under their chair is Harvey Weinstein. Alright. Well, with 21 votes, Braniel has 81%, so I think
Quite convincing.
we can end it there.
Yeah.
Alright. So congrats, Braniel. Alright, and on to our second article. Real gamers and the modern day slaughter of innocence.
Oh, here we go.
Oh God. Oh no. We're gonna hear about Gamergate.
And
Dun, dun, dun.
I have, a couple thousand games on Steam, so everything that they're saying, I have to then go out and do so that this article is accurate.
Yeah. Everybody knows Terry's the most violent person in Australia.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think I'm still alive?
Branson?
None
Who's
of
that?
the animals have been able to kill me because of that.
Or is it Bronson?
Terry, I think we're missing the bigger issue. Terry is the byproduct of hundreds of years of criminals breeding together.
Not to,
to
me-
create the ultimate super criminal,
There
Terry.
you go.
not to mention he's the love child of Sargon and V. And what were they involved in? Gamergate.
Checkmate.
Hockey was the spirit of my youth and a big part of growing up Canadian, especially during the 1960s and 70s. Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Hull, Jean Belleville, Davy Keon, freaking Canadian names. These were my heroes.
The only
Hockey,
one of those I've heard of is Wayne Gretzky, and only because there's like video games named after him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hockey was everything. It was fresh and healthy and involved teamwork and getting along with others. It involved socializing face to face and caring when someone got hurt. It taught
Why?
us
No.
it isn't like fighting a big part of that game.
Yeah.
Hence the famous phrase, I went to a fight and the hockey game broke out.
It taught us how to be strong and resilient and to overcome obstacles. It gave us confidence and a reliance on our own bodies and minds. It pushed us to the limit.
I hate to break it to you, but if you're a writer on Medium, you are not resilient at anything. You are not good at overcoming any obstacles.
I was going to make the exact same point.
Yep.
No, that they're fighting fascism just like our ancestors on D-Day.
By
The only
slapping around a
obstacles-
black rubber puck.
The only obstacle this guy's ever challenged was resetting his password.
Now, I reckon this person sincerely believes that D-Day was just people sending dick pics.
We should do another D-Day if that's the case. When I look back on those days, it's funny because, like 99% of all the other kids in the neighborhood, I couldn't wait to get outside to play. And if we weren't playing hockey, we were fishing or building a fort in the woods. Wow, have things changed. I can't remember the...
What you're describing is a very mild subset of what I'm sure was a life that had plenty of its own problems.
Oh, yeah.
Every kid has problems. Every single kid on the planet has problems. And if you're going to pretend that your childhood was somehow devoid of them, I'm going to call you a liar because there's just no way.
Everything was perfect except for the fact they lived in Canada.
This is the same group of people that every fucking day bitches about things that happened in the past. Everything bad happened in the past, and we are now responsible for it today. And now you're going to try and convince me that everything was great in the past and that today is the problem?
But
No, you don't understand. Everything was good in the past because they were there fixing all the problems. In this person's absence, that's when things go to shit. This person is the greatest philanthropist known to man.
Yeah, he just wants to make Canada great again.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not even just that, but back when this fucker was a kid, they probably didn't televise every single little incident that happened.
Yeah, we don't know how Jimmy Carter took his steak. But we knew how Trump took his steak for some reason. Gee, I wonder why.
And we know how many girls Biden has sniffed.
Is it just how many girls in the United States? Is that the number?
Yeah, there isn't a number high enough.
I wonder if there's a metric system for that.
It's named after some Muslim guy.
The concept of infinity is not that it is representative of a static number, but that it is expanding constantly. If you think of a number, there is a number higher than that, and that is representative of infinity. By that metric, Joe Biden has sniffed infinity girls.
But you can narrow that down by factoring in he only likes sniffing the younger ones.
I can't remember the last time I drove down a street in Canada and had to slow down for a street full of kids playing hockey. Well, that could just mean that you don't slow down for them and you run them over.
True.
Or maybe it means that you live in a city because you're a semi-affluent urbanite and you don't live around neighborhoods where kids do that.
Ah,
Don't overcomplicate things, Jack. This is a serious problem that they just made up.
yeah. And I think that's a sad thing. Obviously,
Sad, very sad.
obviously there's been a huge
Sad.
there's been a huge shift in the outdoor playtime and activities for kids, or shall I say, the lack thereof. The fact is, most teens these days, especially boys, are hunkered down in some shadowy room, hooked up like robots to some video game console, and being totally immersed in some cyber world. Most of the time acting as combat soldiers and shooting the heads off of people replete with tanks, machine guns, machetes, and swords.
That is exactly what I've been doing in my Sherlock Holmes video game that I've been playing, yes.
Yeah. Sherlock Holmes'
Well,
famous
maybe if the-
machete.
Maybe if the parents weren't such pussies and actually forced their kid to get out of their room once in a while and maybe show a little bit of discipline, they wouldn't be worried about it.
How coincidental that I put out that that Twitter poll asking because my kid has been pressuring me to get Minecraft so that
Don't do it, man.
I can play with them. And someone actually put on the replies is just like, how about you go teach your kid a skill?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it is a game, an extracurricular activity.
Your kid needs to be playing
Yeah,
hockey.
Kids are allowed to have fun. You know that, right?
No, they're not.
Well, according to this author, it depends on what type of fun.
I think that it's a massive problem that, we're trying more and more to squeeze the fun out of children's lives by just making everything into a learning opportunity.
To be fair, that's not the only thing the left is squeezing when it comes to kids. So
Okay. This coming full blazes at them with the explosive sounds of battle and the sounds of people dying, topped off with a crescendo of red blood splayed across the screen for added realism.
this sounds like someone who's never actually played a video game but has heard about what they are like from like a teacher or something.
I mean, you
This,
could
this does not seem like an actual person who plays games.
nice. And then we as a
Hey,
society,
they weren't even the number 69. They don't get to use that word.
yeah, nice. And then we as a society wonder in awe at how some youth could ever walk into an elementary school with a gun and start shooting children, killing them, murdering them.
You know, I heard this guy say that they were actually crisis actors.
Well, that sounds like the truth.
There were actually nobody died in those shootings, and it's all staged.
Well, I mean, the government made him pay a tremendous amount of money, and pretty much everything they say is a lie. So,
So you mean we're not supposed to believe our government?
well,
That's-
I guess what I'm saying is be careful around frogs. They're a bit,
As soon as he pays the GDP of Europe, he'll be fine.
Don't worry. He has paid his debt to society, $1 quadrillion.
Killing them, murdering them, one by one, with a cold and calculated demeanor, and reveling while watching them suffer and die, and to move on and kill another and another. Dude, this guy totally had an erection as he wrote this paragraph.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah. Do you know what makes people do that sort of thing? It's not
Erection,
video
because
games. It's not video games. It's not even exposure to violence. It is a feeling of utter futility. It is lacking any sort of direction or hope in your life, feeling that everything is just absolutely dead. And
So what you're saying is they should listen to One Direction. Okay.
yeah, no, it's all just absolute. They feel their lives are just a total and utter dead end. And so they lash out at society. And it might not even take the form of a shooting. It might take other forms. But the fact that you're not going to address any of the issues that our people are actually facing, that society in general is actually facing, means to me you're not really serious about the problem. You just want to go after something that you think is icky.
I hope he starts
No,
talking
no,
about
well,
night.
I think
I hope he starts
everyone
talking
knows the
about
problem
night.
is video games and men. That's it. Video
Yeah.
games and men.
I hope he starts talking about Night Trap.
That would be so good. That is the most ridiculous controversy ever. That game is so mild.
And Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. But hey, the experts will tell you, and with a straight face, and backed by a multi-billion-dollar video game industry, that the two are not related in the least. That there's no connection between gun violence and violent video games.
Yeah, they have evidence. What evidence do you have?
Feelings, Jack. Feelings.
He hasn't seen kids playing hockey. Isn't that proof enough? And most parents don't bat an eye either. As long as Johnny... Oh, they're calling you out, Johnny. As long as Johnny is in his room with his headphones on and keeping quiet and not causing any trouble, what's the harm?
Yeah.
So how
I'm
many
not-
school shootings have you done, Johnny?
I signed an NDA. I can't really talk about that.
Okay.
Johnny, are you feeling okay? Do you need help, Johnny?
It's not like someone said, "Savage, calm down."
Well, you can't have as many casualties with a bow and arrow.
Says
Oh,
you.
Plus, he's got a puppy
founding-
go, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
The
Every
founding
every-
fathers were not able to predict the advancement of technology like the bow and arrow.
So, I think we learned here, Johnny, you should not get Minecraft.
Oh, definitely not. That's what I said in the thread. Don't do it.
Well, it's true. They do have bow and arrows in Minecraft.
Mm.
What's the
We need common sense bow and arrow reform.
No. We need modern sense Minecraft control is what we need.
what's the harm? Me, like my dad, when he first laid eyes on one of his grandchildren playing a video game based on war, said, "No, not in my house. Out with it now." And he, and
No more wires hangers.
he was adamant. "I fought in a war," he said. "A real war where people were dying and my friends were dying, and war is not a game. And under no circumstances should we be promoting war and the taking of human life in the minds of our children as anything other than evil."
So I guess he's opposed to pretty much all movies that have any kind of violence in them as well. Then.
Yeah.
Oh no, he loves his John Wayne.
Maybe you be a responsible parent and say, "Oh, sure, you can play that game when you reach a certain age." That's
Yeah.
what I had to do.
Yeah, they do have age ratings on video games.
And parents ignore them all the time.
But it's so funny. I still remember this. My dad, I wanted to get Mortal Kombat, but I was too young, so my dad went to buy it for me, and he had to show ID to prove that he was over 15 when he was in his 40s.
I remember getting the Mortal Kombat games for...
The heavily censored sweat instead of blood that came out of everyone, and the fatalities that were just shit.
I would just like to say I've been playing violent video games since I was a kid, and I've only shot 3 people.
What more proof do you need?
Yeah, with guns, right?
In Minecraft.
Yeah. Let's see. And just what are these violent games teaching your children? He would ask. "Oh, Dad, you're so old-fashioned," my siblings would say. Dad was disgusted. "What you do in your house is your business," he would say. "But this is my house, and those games are forbidden here. I won't have them." That was his rule.
Well, we know how well prohibition just works as a general rule. There is no chance that made the games more attractive to the kids, and they actually ended up playing them more as a result. That
Yeah.
never happens.
Or maybe that kid's father was just having too many flashbacks, hearing the sound. Of that.
Mhm.
You shall not pass.
Let's see. By the way, this kid grew up in like the 60s and 70s. How graphic were the war games of him and his siblings?
They weren't very violent, but those pong paddles were too sexy for their time,
Hmm.
man.
Well, especially when they switched from the rotating knob to the joystick. Ooh.
I just like the idea that the kids playing oil panic and like the oil spills and the dad's like, no.
I worked on an oil field for 40 years. No human being should ever work on an oil field.
Yeah.
Not in my house.
Working with oil is
Those
not a
aren't
game,
realistic.
goddammit.
That was his rule, and he stuck by it firmly. My siblings and their children learned to live with it, and even came to respect Dad for it. The thing is, Dad grew up with guns. He did 30 missions over Germany as a gunner aboard a Lancaster bomber during World War II. After the war, he carried a gun as a deputy sheriff in New Mexico. Dad was in New Mexico and you're Canadian?
Fuck.
He really went out for cigarettes.
Yeah.
By the time his kids were born, he had quite a collection of guns, including vintage rifles, shotguns, and handguns. Colt 45 revolver he carried as an officer in New Mexico was a valuable collector's piece. Dad believed that every citizen had the right to bear arms in order to protect his family, and he taught
But
each of
not to bear video games.
yeah. And he taught each of us, including the girls, how to safely handle guns and how to shoot them. He let you guys use guns, but not video games. He drilled the rules into us at a young age. Here are Dad's 7 golden gun laws. Well, only Christopher Lee has a golden gun.
No, that's not true. If you play GoldenEye, one of the unlockables is in fact the golden gun. So
Come on,
James
that's
Bond
not
can get a golden gun.
canon.
Hmm.
Number
No,
one.
it's not canon. It's gun.
Exactly.
And I knew one of you would. All right. Number one, guns are not toys. They are not to be played with ever. 2, you treat every gun you handle as if it is loaded, no matter what. No exceptions. 3, you never point a gun at any living thing unless you intend to kill it. 4, always walk at least 3 paces behind the person carrying the gun. 5,
Going for quail.
after each use, the gun must be cleaned, checked, rechecked, and trigger locked. 6, ammunition must always be stored in a lockbox and kept separate from the guns. 7, you do not brag about owning guns ever, nor do you present them or put them on display for anyone. There was never a problem concerning guns in our house ever. Many of my friends' families also had guns, as hunting was always a popular sport in Eastern Canada. There was
That's
never
the only way they got food.
so literally killing things with guns is okay, but not like 70s era war video game.
Yeah. The thing is, a computer mouse is not the same thing as a gun. You know that, right?
Lies.
Not the same
Yeah.
thing.
You know how many people have been ruined by mean tweets?
All I
Even
know is
more
I
by
would
being
be.
claimed that they were raped.
All I know is I would be an expert marksman because I have played, shooting games, and that's all the training you need.
Yeah, I just finished Sniper Elite 5. That means I can kill Hitler.
Right.
Because I've always admired the man who killed Hitler. Alright. There was never a thought in my mind ever that someone might walk into my school with a loaded gun with the intention of killing people. We never had any reason to do code red active shooter drills.
Well, yeah, back in your day, every single male pretty much had a shotgun or rifle hanging in his back seat because they went hunting before school.
Yeah, even there have been killers in their manifestos that have said, I went after this target because they were not defended at all. Which just kind of goes to show, if you have a good guy with a gun there, people are less likely to want to shoot it.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a video game is a good guy with a video game. Let's see.
I always thought that was a little snot yelling at you about screwing your mother over the line.
What?
Well, that too.
Well, when you always have that one little kid always yelling at you over the line, it's like, dude, you're like 10. Shut the fuck up.
Let's see.
All I know is my mum really got around back then, according to everyone on the internet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I can confirm it, but still, that's that's out of line. Let's see. I mean, where would anyone ever get an evil idea like that from? Because, as the experts keep telling us, these shootings, now occurring almost weekly, especially in the US, have nothing at all to do with the advent of violent video games, or Johnny hunkered in his room, hooked up to a console with headphones on and his screen splashing
really pissed
blood
this author
before
off,
his
Johnny.
eyes. Yeah. Cut the shit, Johnny.
Johnny, write this poor lady a letter.
He doesn't like my marathoning of Legend of Zelda, apparently.
Don't worry, author. Your tears mean more than any evidence ever could.
Nothing at all. Gun violence and school
Nothing
shootings.
at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Damn you, sexy Flanders!
Gun violence and school shootings are serious issues. The frequency of these terrible crimes, especially in the US, is increasing. I do believe, as my father said, that violent war-based video games are a contributing factor. I also believe that mental health, good parenting or lack thereof, and the easy access to firearms are other factors.
It's not the experts, it's my daddy. He told me so.
But clearly, there's violent video games in countries other than the United States that don't have rampant shootings. Clearly, there's another issue causing them. It's not the video games, because I like I said, I play lots of video games. I never had any like shootings in any of the schools.
Maybe
Around
because all
me.
the schools over here are gun-free zones, and they know they can get away with it before anyone shows up with a gun.
Yeah.
Well, plus in Japan, the video games just teach the kids to, like, fuck tentacles and stuff.
Hmm.
Hey, here's an idea. Maybe kids feel trapped by the ever-encroaching presence of school on their personal lives, and that way they feel that they are totally and utterly trapped by the system at an early age. I know that certainly made me feel really, really, shitty all the time.
Well,
No,
yeah,
it can't
you're
be
at
that.
school all damn day, and then friggin' half the night you're doing homework, trying to get it all done for the next day, just to go through the same hell all over again.
I mean,
I mean, do these people not think that these people, they treat children like they're non-entities, like they aren't human beings, and it's a little sickening.
I mean,
Well, they're a byproduct of a one-night stand.
I played through Pathfinder recently, so I assume when I go on a shooting, I'll ask every victim's AC before I take the shot.
That's the least you can do.
Yeah.
How else will you know if you hit them or not?
Yeah. I have to have a high dexterity score if I'm doing ranged attack. Let's see. Okay. I find it a little disconcerting as a school teacher when a boy in grade 5 can tell me with great enthusiasm all about the AK-47 Angel of Death assault rifle made in Czechoslovakia, yet stare back at me with a blank expression when I ask him to define an adverb. Oh, he's talking about Jack. Just
Yeah, at least
saying.
the kid knows some history.
Just saying. Oh, he's called out Johnny and Jack.
Man, Fuck you.
This guy has watched the corner.
Hmm.
Several times, apparently.
And what's this?
And he still doesn't know what a transitive verb is.
I know what a transitive verb is. It's just difficult to think of something with that many qualifications off the top of my head that would simultaneously be a decent prompt and might make for some funny anecdote in a potential situation. It's complicated, okay?
Jack's-
The best is watching his noodle bake as he's trying to come up with something.
Jack's slowly reaching for. All right. And with the end of the second article, second game for the chat only.
I
And
might have
also
been
Johnny.
slightly. I might have been slightly distracted there, but he said the AK-47 was made in Czechoslovakia. Moron.
Well, I mean, is Czechoslovakia part of the USSR?
No.
Oh.
Not even close. Well, Slovakia is now, but
Well, it's time for the caption contest, where I'll show you a photo of a political figure or event, and Ed has to come up with a caption for it. Everyone we like best after the show. One was provided by our own Johnny Hellcat. Good old Sean Penn giving ski is off. Most important thing.
Well, the good news is I don't think we're gonna be sending them any money for a while. I hope not, at least.
KVDM says it's frosted cutting in and out for anyone else, so just something to be mindful of.
It sounds fine to me.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, it's going to sound fine to us, but it might sound different on YouTube.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, Micah says you are as well.
Yeah, what the hell, Frosted?
Testing, 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 testing.
I think it must be my fault because I was on a stream with Hammer. Same thing happened to him. Everything went to shit. Now I'm on this stream. Things are falling apart. Clearly,
Yeah, cut it out, Terry.
I'm toxic.
Both of you.
All right. So I think that should be better. All right. Well, now I haven't been watching for the captions. Let's see. I should be able to get a few bucks for this. One useless guy giving another useless one a reward. Let's see. Woohoo, I get to lube this time. This is your performance on the... I'm guessing it's casting couch. But it says carding couch. I'm not a rock dwarf all dem. I have no idea what that means.
No.
And the Oscar for Best Actor is... let's see. A man-shaped dildo so you can finally have some human in you. Should I buy nukes or hookers with this?
Hookers.
And the award for Best Actor of the Year is Mr. Zelensky.
which is funny because he actually is an actor.
Yeah, he is.
Last year winner of Biggest Asshole is happy to present this year's winner.
Me too.
In Soviet Russia, we give you to Little Gold Man. Here's your certificate of completion at the Chris Penn School of Acting. Someone's got to get timed out.
I think high evolved potato. That's my winner. That's the one I'm voting for. Uh-oh.
I blame video games. Let's see. I'm going to break your arm. You to bomb, no you to bomb, no you to bomb. If I kill a Russian with this, will America give us more aid money? Just give it a few more seconds. Let's see. This is not billions of dollars. All right. I guess I'll. All right. Here are the instructions on the vibration functions. All right. Well, I'll cut it off there, I think. So, what are you guys' favorites?
I still like the very first one by Cannibalistic. I should be able to get a few bucks for this.
It's funny because I was actually gonna start. That was gonna be my line. Is how much? I wonder how much I can get for this.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not gonna get muted like Jack and Braniel over there.
Johnny's not a troublemaker.
Well, he's on the list too, you know.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything until afterwards.
I just wanted to join in the fun and getting muted. I've never tried it before.
People used to do that with SDA. They used to deliberately provoke her into getting muted.
Let's see.
Well, yeah, it's because she's a cunt.
mute me harder.
No, but like they say mute me SDA kind of thing, and you're like, all right, if you want.
I don't know. I kind of like the vibration functions one. All right. Let's see. Johnny, did you pick one?
I'm trying to find the one, the first one that Rotten did. Trying to find it.
What, a man-shaped dildo so you can finally have some human in you?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Which one did you say, Terry?
I should be able to get a few bucks for this by Cannibalistic.
Okay. What'd you say, Jack?
I'll go with the Terry's. I should be able to get a few bucks for this.
All right. And Braniel?
I agree with Jack and Terry on this one.
All right. So it looks like Cannibalistic Wizard is the winner this week.
And James Colley also agrees with me that SDA is a cunt.
Yeah. So I'll just copy that down.
I think James is referring to the whole fiasco with the book, with the Meatloaf song, where she took money to sing a Meatloaf song, didn't sing the song, didn't refund the money, but gave people a free copy of her book as a consolation.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if I had donated to that, I would be pissed off too.
Okay. Well, before we get to the next article, I just want to ask Braniel, did you really think that, you could avoid it? Did you think
No.
that Jack would have all the fun?
No. You fucking dyke.
Yes! Yes!
I actually like these articles. I don't know why people get upset about them. I think they're fun.
At this moment, Braniel is planning Frosted's demise in his head.
Did you think the math article was all I had?
No, I think these are fun. I don't know why people get upset about the Bergen County Cat Congress.
I just hate the reading.
Oh, fair enough.
Same here.
Uh, they, they're probably the most reasonable articles on Medium.
Yeah, they are.
Braniel, what did I tell you about Frosted? Never underestimate Frosted.
Oh yeah, I was saving this one for him. All right.
That's a good thing I figured out where he lives.
So let's see. I will be playing the parts of me, the author, Alfredo, and Ichabod. Jack, you will be Ramona, Thor, Bob, and Zara. Let's see. Johnny, you will be Olivia, Henry, Nancy, and Mimi. And there's the number of parts doesn't let it divide evenly. So Terry, you only have 3 parts. Terry, you will be Winifred, Jezebel, and Tucker.
Okie dokie.
And Braniel, you will be Lucy, Buddy, Marie Antoinette, and Callie.
Can we get a link to the article?
All right.
Before the show, Braniel is like, I don't care what he does, just so long as he doesn't do that stupid cats thing.
Me good at math, bad at reading and English.
As long as you can read as well as a cat. Oh, no offense. No offense,
A
Johnny.
cat can read better than
Oh no.
me.
I know how shit it is.
All right. So, is everybody ready? Does everybody have their parts?
Yep.
All right. And it's a long one, so we'll only read about half of it. Oh wait, there are hot photos of my sister in the chat. Aw.
Does this mean Braniel and Johnny will be back next week to reprise their roles?
I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
I don't know. I think I'm attending my own funeral next week.
No, he's attending my funeral next week.
All right. So,
Or I'm visiting Frosted in the hospital, one of the two.
good morning, kiddies, and welcome to meeting number 2 of the Bergen County Cat Congress. Given the recent developments with the Department of Justice and the raid on Mar-a-Lago, we're going to discuss whether these actions were justified and whether the DOJ remains a trustworthy and unbiased organization in these troubled times. Go.
Thank you.
No, you are not the queen of this shit. Congress. Don't you dare just start talking first every meeting. I think we should have a better way to figure out who will go first each time, because I will not keep listening to your pretentious preening introductions each time. I'll quit.
Heavens forbid.
How would you propose we do it then? You're not generally informed enough to lead off discussions of this level of sophistication.
We'll draw straws.
We don't have straws, nor should we. They've been outlawed in New Jersey for good reason. They're destroying the earth. There are entire islands made of straws, the size of Bergen County, floating across the oceans.
Oh my God, you're outrageous.
Why does it sound like Woody Allen?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Have you seen these islands you speak of? Okay. Well, our human house is a nerd. Our house human is a nerd. I'm sure he's got some 20-some some 20-sided dice, and there's 20 of us. It's perfect. We can roll each time, and that cat can lead things off.
Well, I suppose we could.
This led to a nearly hour-long discussion, debate, brawl as to who should be assigned which number. My head hurt within 5 minutes. First, the cats wondered whether the low numbers or the higher numbers were more prestigious. This was not really ever resolved. And then a series of inter-cat rivalries led to quite the wrangling for fancy numbers 1, 8, 10, 16, and 11 for some reason. And absolutely nobody wanted 14, no idea why. But the dog finally gave in and took 14 for the good of the group. They let the rabbit have number 1 as it seemed the only way to keep the peace, and after more than an hour we were able to continue with the Congress. I rolled number 5 and Winifred's led off.
Okay, well, I think the DOJ has been absolutely justified in their action at Mar-a-Lago. And going back to your opening comments, human, I'd like to point out that this wasn't a raid. This was a perfectly legal and fairly executed warrant signed by a federal judge, and I'm sure based on a great deal of probable cause, to search Donald Trump's little Florida crime castle. He's broken more laws than you or I can imagine, and the DOJ has every right to go after him. He can never hold elected office again. American won't survive it.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump. He is far from a perfect man. But you are just totally wrong about this. The Department of Justice is out of control, and this raid on Mar-a-Lago was a huge mistake. The DOJ is now a fully political arm of the executive branch. They are now obsessed with going after their political enemies and protecting their friends. Hillary Clinton has done tens of thousands of government emails just disappeared. Poof. The DOJ barely batted an eye. Where was the raid there? Did they storm down the gates at Chippewa? No, they didn't. What's Donald Trump suspected of doing? Taking a few papers from the National Archives? It's outrageous. The DOJ is now just a bunch of thugs.
And how about that Hunter Biden, right? That sleazebag snorts cocaine of hookers' asses all day in and day out. Makes backdoor deals with the Chinese and the Ukrainians and God knows who else. And cuts his dad and his creepy uncle in at 10%. And no one at the DOJ gives a damn. He's the biggest national security threat on the planet. Lord knows what the Chinese have on him.
Didn't Hunter also, throw loaded guns into some random garbage can or something?
Okay, Hunter Biden may not be a shining example of a human being, but let's at least remember he's struggled with addiction and has dealt with a lot in life. Let's be a little bit compassionate here.
And how about that artwork where he spits colored paint onto a piece of paper and these rich morons pay $1 million for it just to get in with Biden? The liberals are such idiots. I could make my own spit painting and it would be a lot better than Hunter's.
Okay, let's stop piling on Hunter Biden.
You're right. We'll have a whole meeting dedicated to Hunter later. It'll be much better that way.
That's not exactly what I meant. But yes, let's get back on track with the DOJ. Personally, I think Donald Trump has been a very divisive figure, and I wouldn't be shocked if he's committed crimes. But I do fear the DOJ is holding different people to different standards. I think everyone needs to be treated equally under the law, or it sends a dangerous message.
I don't agree, Jezebel. If you recall, the supposedly Trump-hating DOJ practically handed Trump the presidency. James Comey in the summer of 2016 basically called Hillary Clinton a borderline criminal, and then barely a week before the election, he announces he was reopening an investigation into her emails, which he reclosed a few days later. This was a fiasco for her politically. If the DOJ and the deep state were so biased against Trump, wouldn't this have made sense? This wouldn't have made sense at all. Hillary's numbers took a big hit after the late announcement and calling everyone deplorables. Also, Trump literally hired Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI who just raided Mar-a-Lago. I'm of the opinion that Trump is a criminal and all actions against him are legit. Our democracy is at risk. Winifred is right.
Here, here. I stay up late at night worrying about America. I'm so fearful we won't survive this. Donald Trump has been so diverse and so toxic. Maybe there's been some pushback in other direction. But I believe the DOJ and the J6 committee, the Biden administration, I believe they're doing their best to keep our country intact.
You're an idealistic fool. I can hear you worrying all night from the 2 floors up in my penthouse, and it's a bit pathetic, to be honest. America will be just fine, especially out here in the suburbs. Ugh, I'm glad it's not a city cat, though. I'm glad I'm not a city cat, though. It's chaos in the cities. The Biden administration is completely out of control. The DOJ raids, the 80,000 new IRS agents coming after all our money. Where does it end?
I mostly agree. I don't think the DOJ has done anything lately to earn our trust. And I'm concerned they're former people all over the airwaves. They're taking over cable news. If you turn on MSNBC or CNN, so many of their talking heads are those deep state people. Brian, Clapper, Coney, and all the other low-level DOJ prosecutors.
Oh, screw that.
Vince, Chuck, and Rosenberg. They're taking over. These channels are basically walking advertisements for deep states. I don't trust them.
Amen.
What's amazing is how brazen they've become. They don't even care anymore. The deep state has always tried to weasel their way into the media, but it used to be clandestine. It used to be secret. I'm not cackling. Now they think you're so stupid you won't even notice that they've taken over cable news. They think you're an ignorant fool. They're underestimating you, and we need to do something about this. Answer the question.
What question? ...
Well,
The
that was me being silent, so yeah.
The media sucks nowadays, sure. Cable news is a plague. John Brennan is the most oblivious, self-important, pompous ass I've ever seen. But here's a suggestion. Just stop watching cable news. Watch something better.
Agree. I watch documentaries and listen to podcasts.
Oh, God. Honestly, I'm glad I died when I did.
No, trust me. They're they're fascinating. Yesterday, Eric Finch-Ding was talking about how...
Don't you mention his name. He's persona non grata in the lovely state of Florida.
He's a visionary. They are deadly pathogens everywhere, and we need to stay vigilant against them. COVID-19, monkeypox, COVID-23, which is just on the horizon. There's a new Lineage virus in China. They're really starting to.
Okay. We're focused on the DOJ today. Let's save COVID for another time, like 2020. Oh, burn!
COVID is not over.
Well, it's over for today. Ramona, I know you've been preparing for this topic day and night, and you've been a very good patient girl waiting for the other cats to go. What are your thoughts on the DOJ?
Thank you. How gracious. I'm a firm supporter of this move, and I have a great deal of faith in the DOJ. Perhaps they're not perfect, but they are completely justified in pursuing evidence against the former president. Hillary Clinton was investigated also, and the FBI published their findings against her in the middle of the 2016 campaign, no less. Hunter Biden is under investigation, too. The DOJ is doing its job, except against the president. Yes, they have a few black eyes. Their Russian collusion investigation may have been a bit over the top. But the Trump organization is full of criminals. Every subpoena they've gotten, they seem to ignore. He's associated with convicted felons, and if sensitive documents were taken, that's not something they can ignore. The former president has destroyed norms in this country, and we must take steps to restore them as best we can.
Absolutely. I'm hearing that he took the nuclear codes. Would it really surprise anyone?
That is utter nonsense. I agree that Trump bends and even breaks the rules, but you cannot be serious about the appalling double standards of the DOJ. They're investigating Hunter Biden, but that will go nowhere. He'll be exonerated on all counts. Won't even be charged with anything. Millions of dollars were changing hands in foreign countries at the exact moment Biden was vice president. And he's being treated with kid gloves. Swalwell, Mr. Pelosi's drug crazy husband, and certainly Hillary Clinton, and so many others. When it's the left, everyone gets treated carefully. But Trump and his allies get treated as criminals by default. Guilty until proven innocent. The DOJ has such a clear bias. I can't even believe anyone would deny it.
Applause.
Trump is such a plague on this country, I don't care if he rots in prison for the rest of his life. I don't even care if he broke a law. He's destroyed the United States and committed crimes against humanity. Him and his whole family should pay the price so the next fascist thinks twice about it. We're gonna cut off there.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hey,
No. I want to hear Jack read this line.
Fuck you, Terry. It's over.
you're the one who chose the dog whistle.
I know, but I have to because I need to get the reaction from Braniel. You don't understand.
Let's put it this way. I was trying so hard not to laugh out loud, I actually drew blood by biting on my finger to stop laughing.
And scene.
Encore.
No.
Elon Musk, the world's richest man. Okay. Well, now that we're done with that, it's time for the final game of the night, which is Porno Gender Edition,
See,
where I'll give you 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up, and you have to figure out which one is made up.
I'm going to vote after Braniel does.
No, Braniel will be voting last.
God damn it.
Asterisk at the bottom. Braniel votes last.
He has to go to the DMV to get his license, you know. All right. So, gender A. Perspigender. Gender that fluctuates based on how much one is sweating.
Based on what I've seen, it's probably a lot coming from these people.
Gender B. Adoraphoric. Xenogender that is connected to baby talk.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, sounds really pedo-y, but go on.
No, that's what makes me think it's real.
Yeah, I know.
And gender C. Sign gender. Math gender related to having 2 or more genders and fluctuating between them, similar to a sign function graph.
I was really hoping it would be SEIN, as in Seinfeld.
Persby gender.
Sign gender. What's the deal with gender?
Persby
Exactly.
gender.
These genders are making me thirsty.
Have yourself a Persby gender, the soft drink of genders.
All right, so Jack, which one are you voting for? Oh wait, hold on. I gotta make the poll so Jack can get in on it. And don't forget, one of the options is that they're all real.
I'm gonna go with C. I think that you made it up because of the first article, and I think that's the fake one.
All right, Johnny.
Where I can agree with C. I am gonna go with a Persby gender. A.
All right, Terry.
I'll go Persby gender. I don't think these people have ever worked a day in their lives. They don't know what sweat is.
How many fat people do you know, Terry?
Just you and
They-
Foster
they- yeah, they sweat by their very mode of being.
All right, and,
They sweat standing up.
and-
all right, and Braniel.
I'm gonna go with B.
All right. Let's see.
Everyone changes their answer to B.
Chat seems like they're leaning A, with all real in second. And by the way, we have 28 viewers and only 16 likes, which is unacceptable.
Fine, I'll like the stream.
It says
have
Still don't know
17.
why. I always like this stream, but I never do.
Mhm.
Yeah, give it a few more seconds.
Seven to go. Oh, 8 to go. Keep going.
Devil Fruit Zero wants to know: was Jack going to die if he continued doing that? The voice I was doing.
Almost certainly he
Yes.
was.
Yes, I would have.
Well, my
Hey,
response
listen.
was only hope.
What?
My reply to him was, "We can only hope."
All right. Well, I think I'll end the poll there. So chat went with A.
Frosted has a rumble. Do you have a rumble?
Well, yeah, because like that was the only way I could watch old Quippers.
Sure.
Oh. Wait, you watch old Quippers?
People watch that? Well, rewatch that?
Someone actually wants to watch that?
I only fast forward to my answers.
All
All right. And the answer is A is fake.
Woo!
Yeah.
I blame the Cat Council. It ruined my brain.
Olivia did nothing
Cat's thrown
wrong.
off his game.
All right. So let's take a look at the real flags.
It's a pedo gender.
Yeah. This one is really boring. Just looks like a typical trans flag.
So it's diddle gender.
Ugh.
All right. And then we have sign gender. You'll have to tell me if this is
They're-
mathematically accurate.
What? You would think they would at least show a sine wave.
I mean, sine is
Opposite.
over hypotenuse, so that part's right.
Yeah.
I don't-
Yeah, that is true, but
More importantly, Terry knows something about trigonometry.
that's a little.
Why wouldn't I?
scary.
I don't know. It never crossed my mind that you would.
I mean, I did maths in high school. Part of it was learning trigonometry.
Math. All right.
No, we did the double version. There was two of it.
Uh,
Well, they learned sine and cosine, so
Hmm.
What about
So
tangent?
cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, I believe.
Yeah,
Ah,
cosine's
yeah.
adjacent.
I
No
don't
one
know.
likes to listen
Sine
to a
is
tangent.
opposite.
Hmm.
Math was always my worst subject.
Ah.
All right. So now it's time for our final article.
Geometry sucked.
Now, geometry was the easiest. But, like, calculus and trigonometry, never knew what was going on. All right.
I find
I think Frost had liked geometry because he was in the remedial class. He only had to know how many sides a square had to pass.
I find that any branch of math tends to be easy until you add trigonometry to it. The second you add trig to something, for some reason, it just gets infinitely more complicated.
I still don't know what a logarithm is. I don't know. Okay.
I would tell you, but this is not the place.
Yeah.
What maybe when you're older. All right. And now our final article. The one and only solution to your gun nonsense is simple. Divorce.
Okay.
The Earth belongs to Gaia anyway.
I mean, Illusion of Gaia was an excellent game. On the
Oh,
Super
I gotta
Nintendo.
see this.
With shock and unbelief, I'm watching Americans fight over guns. Fighting. Guns. It's just too simple for words. And the solution is so easy. Fighting and guns are about destroying life. Non-fighting and no access to guns are about life. Creating conditions conducive to life. Biomimicry. We have a world to redesign. Can we please get on redesigning everything without fighting? It drains our energy, and we need our energy for other things, such as making sure that we keep dry feet when the sea levels are rising.
There's her picture.
Man, definitely looks like an old grandma Karen.
Looks like someone that crawled out of the woods.
It's the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Solution for gun conflict. So what's the solution? What do you do in your personal life when you have a conflict? You turn away, don't you? Life's too short to surround yourself with people and situations that drain you.
And you sue it for half of its paycheck.
Yep. So what do you do when you are a government deciding on gun politics? You divorce your country, split up into two parts. One half of your country will have guns. You will make sure all teachers in all classrooms have guns. You will build high walls around all school buildings, and you will find out for yourself that walls do not keep crazy people out. Police officials normally have that job. But high walls and armed teachers do not.
I'm actually in favor of this idea. Split the
Yeah,
country.
this sounds-
Yeah, that sounds like an excellent idea.
I like this idea. Can we? How about this? How about we try it somewhere? And
Yeah.
then once we try it somewhere, we will have evidence. And then the evidence can be compared against your shitty schools, and then we can figure out that our way is better.
Also, if you want to start your country centered entirely around not having guns, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
Yeah,
country will
you'll
last a long
be-
time.
Yeah. Until any other country on Earth hears about it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that annoys me in like sci-fi and fantasy movies, where like the good guys are always like, "Oh, we're a peaceful society. We don't have weapons or armies or whatever." It's like, well, bitch, you kind of brought this on yourself then when you get invaded by the bad guys.
And get wiped out.
Frosted's secret irks with Star Trek come to light.
No, actually, I was thinking more of Naboo in Episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're a warzy.
or Alderaan, let's see. Okay. It is called experimenting if you want to live in this part of America. You will find out for yourself if this creates happy people or depressed, suicidal ones. And of course, the depressed ones will have a gun ready to kill themselves or to kill others. Great riddance. If they,
This is the empathetic left,
yeah,
by the way.
Yeah.
you will find out that a spiral of violence will feed. Violence. The other half of the country will learn from other countries that do not have a big weapon lobby. Canada, Europe, the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, everyone wants to be just like Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canada doesn't have any problems.
The people who live here will curtail weapon possession. A spiral of no access to weapons will feed. Peace. Gaia owns all soil anyway.
What?
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. All right. I hear you say. How can we split up our country? The fighting people with different opinions live all over. Well, there's a simple solution for that too. Detach yourself from the people you don't want to live with, even if it is family, even if they are friends, or learn how to listen deeply to each other's emotions and live in peace. Guns are not about fighting. Guns are about fear. And as a and as a human being, I do understand fear, and you do too. So just listen a bit deeper next time.
Yeah, I'll agree. Guns are very much about fear because we fear your totalitarian ass.
Well, it's not even just about fear, but on average, a ton of high school students actually get college scholarships for marksmanships to actually compete against other schools in long range shooting, rapid fire, and other. I mean, there's even a whole Olympic sport around shooting as well.
And tell me, Braniel, how many of those people have ever become mass shooters?
None.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they're just not playing video games.
Oh, good point.
All right. The future of land. Merlinda enters the scene. She's my granddaughter from the year 2222.
It's supposed to be 25-25. Listen to the song, people.
Also, your granddaughter is still alive in 200 years? Right.
Well,
I don't think you understand. I don't think you
25-25,
understand how numbers work.
In the year 25-25, if man is still alive, it's part of the song.
Yeah. But can women survive?
They will thrive.
By the way, the only reason I get that reference is MST3K.
Oh, really?
She wears brownish green chameleon clothing this time, dressed like an army girl, a fighter. But she doesn't at all look dangerous to me. She has a twinkle in her eyes, and I know I can trust her, because I am high as shit, and this is an hallucination.
Yep.
Wait a second. So your daughter is a fighter, but does not appear to be dangerous at all. Sounds like she's a very ineffectual fighter.
200-year-old.
Well, the twinkle in her eye makes everybody surrender.
Yeah.
Let's see. My well-developed gut feelings tells me. Do you have some year 2022 perspective for us, my dear? I ask her.
No, because that year has not occurred yet.
Of course I have, Gran. In 2022, the soil and the sea are not owned by people anymore. We have seen that it is a stupid thing to do. Small patches of land make it impossible to decide upon indigenous burning, e.g. to hold Oh, sorry, Johnny. It looks like you guys are getting burned in the future.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're having, so basically the author is having like a weird stoner communism fantasy.
Can we find out what she's on?
I don't know.
This is some good shit, let me tell you.
It comes
I
from
want some.
It comes from Gaia. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
But before we burn Johnny, I think we should at least make him do a trial. Just tie his hands and feet together, chuck him in a pond, see if he floats. Least we can do.
Let's see. Let's see. Impossible to decide upon indigenous burning, e.g., to hold back the bushfires on a hot planet. Farmers don't want their land to be burned, so we need common land, common water, common decisions about our planet.
Communism is sounding like.
Yup.
Farmers are very happy that they have a license for only using the land and not owning the land. Because
Oh, this is the WEF. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy about it.
yeah,
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
just ask
So it's like communism, but worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just ask the Ukrainians in like 1930s. The farmers there were perfectly happy.
Of course.
Let's see. Because switching plots helps them have better yields, and because every farmer is obliged to leave the soil better than it was when they started out, land can easily change guardianship. People and
But
all
of course, in this fantasy, it's a fortunate thing it happens in the future because you don't have to till the soil.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in the future we brought back slavery. People and all other species are nomadic in 2222, which makes it weird that we have farmers.
Yeah.
In the future, there will be robots.
Just like they were before everyone got roots and stayed stuck in one place.
Oh, isn't it racist to hate on roots?
Yeah. People love
Is her name Toby?
it will be. People love to travel and see new places. And of course, travel is not polluting anymore. When Boeing finally understood nature's technology and started to innovate radically and build our airplanes like birds. So our planes had hollow bones and flapped wings.
Yeah, apparently.
We choose our own families in 2222. People are not that stuck in the past any longer. People do not stay victim to their own stories anymore. They just own their own stories. They just own their stories.
The state is your family now.
Yes, basically.
And get on with living. They decide who they want to form their communities with, and they love all people in their community. Because if they don't, we
Except
kill
for
them.
that one.
You can kind of already choose your people. It's called, starting a family.
Yeah.
Differences and all. Diversity is normal in 2222.
As long as you don't disagree with, the people in charge.
Yeah. Young people get a ritual when they turn 18. Oh boy. They can decide which tribe, country, they want to belong to. They can choose between the country of their mother, their father, or the one they were born in. Of course, youngsters are prepared for that huge decision by wise parents. And if someone wants to switch afterwards, it is a decision of them together with their new country.
Oh, so you move.
You're trusting parents to be wise? What, all the time?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a Target?
No, I'm a Walmart guy. Target is too expensive.
I actually have been
Here.
to a Target. I've never been to a Walmart.
Let's see. They have to show why and what they will contribute when they switch. Oh, so they actually have better immigration laws than we have right now.
And what you just heard was all the commies leaving when they found out they had to do work.
Yeah. All people contribute to the tribe, country, they belong to, and the land they live on. They mainly pay taxes after their death. Okay.
How do you pay taxes when you're dead?
I think
Yeah,
what
the
they're saying is
government-
there's 100% death tax. So there's no inheritance.
Yeah. All money to Mother Russia.
Yes.
Their children don't... Huh?
So basically, you have no incentive to provide any additional help to your children.
Right.
Well, here,
So
well, here,
so once you feel that you have enough money to live off of, you stop working early.
well, here's the reason, Jack. Their children don't need the money because they have full access to all basic needs, such as healthy water, food, and shelter. You know, the only things people ever need.
Ugh.
And open education, preparing them for life as broad as possible, of course. In 2222, much more land has become water, so we mainly live inland. Your current cities have been transformed into sponge cities full of green. Cars in the city? That's stupid. We don't live near coastlines or rivers anymore. We have become an adaptive species in 2222. So you're nomadic, but you don't have cars?
We have invented the Line City.
Yeah, those are green sponge cities, all right. Full of
Yeah, Florida will be
bacteria
underwater.
and shit.
Yeah, Florida will be underwater by 2009. Al Gore already
Yeah.
told us.
Yeah.
Good God, this is just no. You're an idiot. That's all. That's the only way I can think to respond to someone like this. You're not basing any of these predictions on anything resembling reality. You're just an idiot who's just spinning tales, and you think that just because you can think it, that somehow it will become reality. No,
Yeah,
you
but
have
first
to
let's look at
have.
the silver lining. See,
Huh?
sure, Florida's been underwater since 2009, but that was only for 3 years when the world ended in 2012.
Yeah.
Just for the love of God, you're stupid.
Well, what even happened to their original argument, anyways?
Oh,
I don't
they
even know what it
forgot about that.
was.
Oh, about guns?
Yeah, about how people should be divided. Some have guns, some don't. And they live in separate countries. So, how the hell does this
Yeah.
all play in?
That was the before time, the long ago. We're on to future communism now.
Yeah, you can't have like school shootings when everyone's hunter gatherers again.
Yeah.
I bet that if you were to take this person's IQ, it would be below 90 at least.
We don't live near coastlines or rivers anymore. We have become an adaptive species in 2222. And you know what they say, adaptive species are thriving species.
Is
So-
that what they say?
Yeah, well, people say that in 2222. Yeah.
Okay, right.
So we don't say it yet.
They also say, we follow the science.
So people don't mind splitting up their country? Of course not, Gran. The Earth belongs to Gaia anyway. And with
The earth belongs to Gaia. Love is love.
and with a puff, Merlinda is gone again. I'm guessing a puff is
Oh,
what
it's a
brought
puff, all
Merlinda
right.
back.
Mm.
See you next time, my
It's-
dear.
it-
See you next time.
It's true what they say. Weed is getting stronger these days.
Damn.
Check to see if this author lives in the Netherlands.
Well, there you have it. Indisputable fact because it comes from the future.
Yeah.
We need to become hunter gatherers again. And just nobody owns anything. And that
Of
will
course
solve shootings.
So
Yeah, no one will be
if we
able
all
to
go-
afford a gun, and everyone is too poor to feed themselves.
So if we all go back to the hunter-gatherer way, does that mean we're demoted back down to spears and bow and arrows in order to get our own meat?
Naturally. Yes.
Yeah. And then school spearings will become a problem.
Yeah.
We need common sense spear control.
People,
Hell yes, we're coming to take your spears.
I think people are going at the problem the entirely wrong way. If you want kids to stop getting shot in schools, you don't ban the guns, you ban the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that.
And what better way to ban them than with, well, I won't finish that. All right.
High velocity cranial perforations.
But if we did go back,
Hammers.
if we did go back to spears, could we start saying spear chucker again?
I mean, it'll be accurate.
Yeah.
All right.
And you were mocking me for my bow and arrow earlier.
And Terry can finally kill the Avos.
There you go. Green Badger says nobody needs an assault tomahawk.
Just picturing someone holding a tomahawk and then they pump the shotgun thing on the handle. All right. Well, that's all I had for tonight, gentlemen. So I'll take a moment to shill my co-hosts and guest. Boobs has Quippers United over on his channel Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Johnny Hellcat, anything you want to shill?
Minions on Thursdays, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Terry is on Johnny Hellcat streams. He's on Six of Sober streams. He's on Quippers United. He's on Hammer's Minions Nights.
Throw a rock, and you can find Terry Diamantis.
Yeah, I'm also on Adam's Minions Nights most of the time as well.
And Adam's Minions Nights. Okay. Is that everything?
I think so. If there's anything we missed, then we show everything on Twitter anyway. You'll find out if I'm streaming.
And also, Terry's on OnlyFans now for all your weird Greek fantasies.
And anything you want to show, Braniel?
This is my first existence on the internet.
So?
That's all I got.
You could shill the real life stuff, but I think that would be a bit of a problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
big problem.
Go ahead and shill your home address.
And the social security number.
Yeah.
And the name of your first pet.
Yeah, just your mother's maiden name while you're at it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just thinking of The Simpsons. A talking moose wants my credit card number. That's only fair.
Actually, our next episode will be our 100th episode.
Nice.
No.
That's right. You guys have heard almost 400 articles from Medium.
Ugh.
And
No wonder
Yeah.
my brain.
I don't want anyone to get too excited, but we are only 16 subscribers away from reaching Tree 50.
There
So-
you go.
If we can get Tree 50 for our 100th episode, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll think of something.
Get the Loch Ness monster as the guest.
I don't know. Maybe we'll kill Jack. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Unfortunately, it couldn't, because it would mean that I wouldn't be able to listen to Medium articles anymore, thus defeating the purpose of this show.
Well,
Although
Very
then
true.
again, maybe you make the 100th the last episode and kill everyone on it. That is a hell of a series finale.
I don't know. Well,
Finishes the last article, immediately deletes the channel.
all right. So we'll figure something out. But so
You can return us, Frosted, to Mother Gaia.
but my grandson from 2222 just visited, and he said that he just conquered all those hippie pussies.
With a 22 bolt action rifle.
Yeah. He actually had like a blunderbuss, and he conquered their whole nation. Yeah.
There was some bitch with a twinkle in her eye, and he smashed her head.
He then showed me the eye to prove it. Don't fire till you see the twinkles of their eyes. All right, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do next week, but if we can, it'll be same time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So keep an eye on Twitter, and I'll let you know one way or the other. So We'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
It is.